Arsenal back top, Liverpool drop points in the title race, and Man City win the hard way, and Crystal Palace finally get beaten. Welcome to AfterMatch. Hello everyone, welcome to episode 2 of AfterMatch. In different locations this time. 'Cause I want to see if this was a bit better, but I'm already not too sure, so I might be back out there next week. Which is going to be the international break, so it'll be interesting to see what I do on that week, after that weekend. I might just either look at the international games and then. Yeah, I might just look at the international games and just talk about them, or just look forward to the next week's games. I just had to accept that there's going to be 2 episodes where it's the same fixtures, or just doing just random football chat, which I'm quite good at. Anyway, this week it started on the Friday instead of the Saturday, with Bournemouth versus Fulham, which ended 3-1, which now has Bournemouth up to 4th. It's at the start it didn't look that great for Bournemouth after who put them in front? You've got a phone next to you, you can check. Ryan Sessegnon put them in front. And then basically that sort of woke them up, Bournemouth. With Andres Manu getting his first, which was the one where I still can't work out how he scored. It went straight through Van Leno's legs. And it was actually quite a good finish in the end, which was immediately upstaged about 6 minutes later with Justin Cliver, who scored from like 25 yards out. Who yards? I don't. I think it's yards. And I'm gonna be honest, I went home on my phone and I looked up just to see it mid-flow, just flying into the back of the net. So I didn't actually know who'd scored until it got to him celebrating. And then I really thought Fulham were going to get an equaliser. They looked the most likely to. They were getting mightily close from brightly. But then basically they screwed off his corner and Semenyo got his second. And that was pretty much that. We saw this with Royal last season, that everyone realised how well they were doing. I remember some YouTubers I was watching even tipping them to get Europe, but it was funny enough the moment everyone started saying it, I think they dropped points in like 3 games in a row, and then everyone just stopped talking about it. But the way they're shaped now, especially as they've lost pretty much their entire backline, some of the people coming like Diakite and Diakite and who's the other? And people like Truefair and all there, and then Milos Avrijevic, who's the youngster who's come on in a couple of games. I think he got man of the match for his first game. The Bournemouth don't seem to have been affected at all. No, I put Dr. Petrovic, being a Chelsea fan, I don't know why I forgot that. Bournemouth just having a tendency just, if we need a goalkeeper, just ask Chelsea. Because they had Kepa last season. Anyway, so then the early game on Saturday was Leeds versus Tottenham. And I feel like it's one of those games that Pascal Strike might not be watching back. Not because he scored any own goals, but he did help both of the goals go in. And it's 2 of those deflections where he's just trying to get his body in front of the ball. There's not really much you can do about it. So I think he will know that it's not his fault at all. if someone shoots a ball right towards you, it's either going to deflect off you and back in play. So yeah, the result puts Tottenham in third now, which is a significant improvement from last season when they finished 17th. And it doesn't look like that's it's going to happen to them this season. So yeah, then we had Arsenal West Ham. Basically, Arsenal showing why this year might be the year. Absolutely dominating the game. 21 shots to 4. With Declan Rice going against his old club, which I think some West Ham fans weren't too happy about. It did look like he tried his best not to celebrate, but he's like, look, he's good. I kind of do want to celebrate, so he sort of didn't celebrate and then did to the Arsenal fans, which sort of makes a bit more sense. Although I might have misread what he was doing. and then and then Bukayo Saka with the pen in the second half, which I've seen some people saying was outside, and I can see why they're saying that, but I'm not too sure what what rules behind that is. If I'm saying that, that seems really obvious. If he's outside the box, it's not. But it's all those ones where it's like, does the foul happen when he actually falls over? I think that's what Arsenal fans are trying to say and stuff like that. But again, it's sort of like funny enough with Arsenal again. Sort of like the Yokeres, yeah, the Yokeres one last week. I'm not going to try and delve too much into it because I feel like I'm not well up on the rules to work it out, and two, I'm a Chelsea fan. It's probably just going to have the bias coming out, so I'm just going to leave it for now. But yeah, and Martin Odegaard got injured again, which I said when they said it during say, oh, Martin Odegaard's been taken off again. I was like, yeah, that's what's going to happen when you keep trying to rush him back. He's like, he's injured. He's probably going to be out for a couple of weeks, and he's on the team sheet like 2 weeks later. And I thought there was something up with it. It just seems like Arteta's trying to rush him back. I know that it was very likely not the case, but it does seem like that in a minute. And one of the guy's a good player, so you can sort of see why he would do it. So it's fly. But yeah, quite a good result for Arsenal. Top of the table, probably deservedly as well. And yeah, it generally wouldn't surprise me if Arsenal do it this year. They've been so close 3 years in a row now. You got some Arsenal fans saying, "Come on, he can't beat almost every season from now on. That we're just not going to make it." And seen by the fact that the Man City have already lost a couple of games they should have won, and Liverpool are slowly dropping off as well, then it might actually be their year if they just don't have a massive drop off. And also have had a lot of injuries, and it's not looked any different. So yeah, if they win it, then even a Chelsea fan, I won't be shocked. Anyway, the next game, and sorry, if you're watching it on YouTube, you're going to realise this is load of chops and changes because it's not as smooth as last time. Last time wasn't really that smooth in the first place. But I keep on getting distracted. I probably will try and see how long I can record in one recording at this point. But yeah, so sorry if this one is very choppy. If you're listening to it on Spotify, you probably won't notice. Anyway, the next game was Man United Sunderland. Sunderland finally lost a game again, and I swear they've only lost 2 games this season, and Yeah, it's been to Burnley and Man United. I'm not saying Man United are bad. It's just with the former, it did come as a surprise to everyone. Like I saw everyone when I do predictions having saying that Sunderland had a chance, and even when I was doing my predictions, like because I just like to do them before the game. I think I put 2-2 because Sunderland are looking good, Man United are looking too good. But then it was high quality. I think they'll get a point out of it. But no, Man United really had it so comfortable, had it had it pretty much sorted by half time, which is something we haven't said about Man United in a while. Even that Chelsea game after they went down to 10, everyone was like, "Oh, Chelsea might win this anyway," but we didn't. And talk about Chelsea, Mason Mount got the first. Like Mason Mount transfer to Man United has currently been, well, I wouldn't say disaster, but probably hasn't gone as he planned. And then Benjamin Šeško has finally got off the mic last week, and now he's on a bit of a roll now. Yeah, it was. I felt like it was only a matter of time before. It's like we've seen people like football from Crystal Palace. The way they're playing is like you wouldn't be surprised if they won games that they probably wouldn't have won like seasons gone. But with Sunderland, you don't know yet, so it didn't. I don't think it came as much of a shock for everyone when they did lose this weekend. I think I still think they'll stay up. I think they'll just languish in like the bits like 12th to 16th or something. Either very comfortable or they have a massive drop off. We don't know. That's how the Premier League works. So that's pretty much all I've got to say about that. And then I said last episode, hopefully I'll be quite happy if Chelsea beat Liverpool over the weekend. And lo and behold, we did. um, Caicedo, West Ham goal aside, is only accustomed to scoring absolute worldies. Absolute screamers. Like his shot, I know Mamadashvili got his hand to it, but he's like taller than Allison, so it's not a surprise. But it's like the power of it. I don't think any goalkeeper would have stopped that. He was such bad. It was right in the top corner. Well, he sort of saved it into the top corner, but still a brilliant goal. And don't be surprised if that ends up on goal of the month for October. And yeah, Chelsea looked good. I was, of course, with our recent form, but you should see me in here watching the game. It's just, I'm so nervous. I just had a feeling that Liverpool would score, and in the second half they did in the end with assist from Isak, which I'm pretty sure he didn't mean. But who said he did, and people are allowed their own opinion, but it just looked like a screwed up touch than him trying to do it deliberately. If he did, then fair enough. Yeah, Chelsea have got Colwell, Fofana, Chalobah, and Tosin out. So suddenly seeing Benny Shield and Atrampong go down in quick succession, me and a load of Chelsea fans just like, oh god, here we go. As soon as they scored as well, we thought, oh, this is going to probably end up like 3 or 4-1, which is probably what the Liverpool fans were thinking as well. I've heard like Jamie Carragher and Gary Neville on Sky Sports saying that when we had both our centre backs taken off, they thought, oh, Liverpool going to push on and win this. But that's not what happened. Chelsea were knocking. Chelsea were very much knocking on the door. Um, Ed's Fernandez seeing the post like a little bit beforehand. But then Esteval, who's I think everyone's favourite Chelsea player of this season, he's finally got his first goal, and what team to get it against? And yeah, I think many people say that you can argue Chelsea did deserve it in the end. Of course, the Liverpool fans would say that. I think Arne Slot said that, oh, we had more shots than them, but blah blah blah. But as you can see, I'm quite happy with this. I think most of them played well as well. Like Garnacho played well. I thought he was actually going. He almost got one in the first half, so it's good to see Garnacho playing well. You had Neto absolutely. Garnacho was running rings around Colin Bradley, hence why he had to get taken off. And then when we brought on Jamie Gittins and Esteval, literally both sides couldn't deal with him. And the thing I found so funny was the fact that we got to the end of the game and there was actually only two centre backs on the pitch by the end of the game. There being Joel Latta, who isn't like a full blown centre back, and then Virgil van Dijk. Liverpool's backline had two midfielders in it by the end of the game. And then Chelsea's one, you could argue had two right backs and two left backs. So you can tell we were going for it. It was a very good game. And luckily for me, it ended up going the way of Chelsea. And now we've got the international break. It'll be time for... Well, Chalobah's going to be back after suspension. Fofana's concussion thing will be over. And they said the Belarusian national team will be fine. So it's actually got to look alright when we get back. Especially if Tosin also goes fit as well. We suddenly got off the entire string of centre backs again. Minus Cleo Colwell. But yeah, it's still a bit of a glaring error about a glaring hole that Leo Colwell was left just from the first couple of games. But you can also say the same about Liverpool. Like their defeats against Crystal Palace, Galatasaray, now Chelsea, a couple of days ago. I saw it coming quite early on because their defending was looking very suspect. Like Bournemouth should have probably got a point against them. Newcastle probably should have got a point against them. And I can go on with quite a few other games. But yeah, some Liverpool fans, and I imagine is like, look at their next few fixtures just going, oh please tell me this isn't going to be a massive blip. And we're suddenly just going to leave Arsenal there on their own. But tell you what, saying that, Tottenham, Bournemouth, Man City, I never thought I'd say Bournemouth's form's looking good, but I don't think they'll get anywhere near, but I think Bournemouth might have a season to enjoy this season. Yeah, it does make sense. Anyway, on to Sunday. We have 4 games in one go. I was tempted to do the multi-view thing, but I just thought it'd just give me a headache. So we ended up watching the Everton Crystal Palace game, where Crystal Palace are beatable. Who knew? And it didn't look that way when Daniel Munoz, who's suddenly on goal scoring form all of a sudden, after getting one against. Who are they up against in there? He's got a good team as well. Dino Kiev. he scored ahead of there, and then scored today. We all thought, oh, Chris Palace are going to win again. They're going to remain unbeaten, but that wouldn't be the case when they gave away a penalty, which I think some people were calling a bit dubious as well. And then Iliman Jai got them back level. And I'm going to be honest with you, the only team that looked like they were going to score was Everton at that point. And lo and behold, eventually they did. With Jack Grealish, I'd say hammering home, but it ended up just being funny enough. I think it was Daniel Munoz kicking the ball into him, which on first viewing I thought Jack Grealish didn't make a swing at it, so I had a feeling that might be what had happened. So yeah, Chris Palace are beaten it. Everton are looking good under David Moyes. And yeah, Aston Villa game now. And Aston Villa finally remembered how to win games. Remembered how to win games again, thanks to Daniel Marlon, who got two in that game. Both of them very good finishes. And yeah, I've got not much to say. It's just a routine Aston Villa performance. Leslie Kachukwu, if we talk about former Chelsea players, like I think I was last week when I was doing the Champions League stuff. You got Leslie Kachukwu getting one back for Burnley, but by the sounds of things, it was particularly comfortable for Aston Villa in the end. And then moving on, we've got the Newcastle Nottingham Forest game, and Postecoglou still hasn't had a win. And I am recording this on Monday, so I might end up missing news if he does lose his job, which I doubt it because I feel like I might be patient with him. But I don't know how long he'll be patient for with how Nottingham Forest are playing in a minute. Bruno Guimaraes putting them in front. I think I remember Nottingham Forest players were trying to call for a foul, but I think it got proven that he touched the ball. I think it was Bruno Guimaraes as well. Had actually got a touch on the ball for going through the man, so it was like, it's a completely fine tackle. It's a completely fair goal. Then Nottingham Forest gave a penalty where Nick Woltemade, like, the amount of penalties you see nowadays that goes bottom corner, he just went, I think he knows I'm going bottom corner, so it was a great penalty, went straight top corner. And yeah, Newcastle brought their form against Union Saint-Gilloise and brought it to this weekend, which was a good sight for many people to see. And then moving on, you got Wolves versus Brighton. Wolves remember with only one win this season. Well, it looks changed after Marshall Menetzi's shot thundered off the crossbar and then went in off of Bartford Bruggen, who couldn't do anything about it. Sort of like, well, explained with Patrick's stroke earlier. And it looked like they were going to get their 3 points and put West Ham bottom until Jan-Paul van Hecker came in with a brilliant header. The Wolves goalkeeper wasn't going to get anywhere near it. Sam Johnston. Yeah, he wasn't going to get anywhere near it. And Brighton got a point out of it, which I think relieved both them and West Ham. Because like, I think the West Ham fans were just like, okay, Cooper not bottom. And then the final game that I'm going to get across to is Brentford Man City, which from the first half looked like it was going to be it's going to be business as usual for Man City. But it's pretty much a game of two halves. You had Man City looking like they were going to win like 3 or 4-0 in the first half. It stayed at 1, which is always the risk that you take if you're dominating a game. And you could argue that both the probably should have got something out of the game, but they didn't in the end. They kept on knocking and knocking. They were getting mightily, mightily close. But Man City eventually came out with the win. They managed to grind out a result, which I can only imagine Pep Guardiola, knowing how he plays his system, he would have been absolutely livid about it. So yeah, that's all the fixtures for this week. Sorry for anyone watching the video if it's very choppy and changing. Like, it keeps on cutting away when I'm trying to explain stuff. It just had the camera freezing. Suddenly got a call from someone, which is the most recent cut, and yeah, it's probably going to be more of a job for me to try and piece this all together. Or I'm just going to be darting about the place. But like I said, if you're listening to this on Spotify, you're not going to notice any problems. Yeah, this episode's ended up being a bit more complicated, let's say, than some of my other ones. But yeah, got the international break now. I'm going to spend the next couple of days trying to work out what I'm going to do about that. And yeah, thanks a lot for watching this episode. I don't know what's going to be happening next week, but yeah, hope you enjoyed and see ya. Thank you for watching AfterMatch. If you want to see more episodes, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel where you'll get a video version of this. Or follow me on Spotify if you want to listen to future episodes on the go. Be sure to check out my website, The Centre Circle, which you can find on the About page of my YouTube channel.